Uy, se viene, se viene, se viene. Se viene y yo también. ¿Qué pasa en 10 segundos? Ah, ya pasó. A ver. Vamos, empieza, Chris, empieza. No me tengas acá con las bolas llenas. Oye, ¿qué fue? Ya se acabó el contador. Qué pésimo streamer eres, Chris. Seguro está cagando y se ha demorado. Eso me pasó una vez. Oye, empieza, pe, concha tu madre. ¿O qué fue? Ya es, oye, Chris. Ya es, muchas gracias por el... Pero ya es, ¿no? Muchas gracias por la suscripción. ¡Ahí está! ¡Hola, Chris! ¿Cómo estás? Ya está. Está diciendo que es el Chris y que se viene el anuncio. Ahí están los drops, así que atentos. Ahí, a ver, ¿qué va a haber? Se viene el tráiler. Se vienen los challenges. ¿Por qué me pones los challenges inmediatamente después? Las mejoras al endgame. O sea, van a haber cambios en el juego. Nuevos skills. Nuevos unique items. Un montón de buffos para las armas únicas. Puta, bien. El manejo de las joyas y los ailments. El tema de las maldiciones y los archinémesis. Todo lo que viene con Ruthless, que no va a jugar después. Uy, se vienen Quality of Life, o sea, cosas para hacer la vida más fácil. Oye, ¿qué? Ah, ya, se viene una pregunta, preguntas y respuestas con CD. A ver el tráiler, sí, el tráiler. Silencio, silencio, silencio. Silencio. Ey, tú al fondo, silencio, te estoy viendo. Cállate.
Many have met their fate here in the shade of Fell Shrine. So, step.
Ese soy yo, mira. Soy yo de bebé.
But here you are bound by new rules. My rules.
¡Es Haste! ¡Otra vez! Sí, es un roguelike, weón. Va a ser un roguelike. Va a ser un roguelike. Va a ser como que vamos a entrar en un mapa, tenemos que ir de cuarto a cuarto. Va a ser así, weón. Va a ser así, o no. O sí, o no. ¡Es Haste de nuevo!
A foe to wound you. A curse to spite you.
¿Qué es esto? Espera, sí, va a ser un... ¡Oye! Ahí está, se arregló. Vas a elegir cosas. Ahí vienen los premios. 18 valors. Puta, ¿qué tal premiazo? Va a ser un roguelike. Vamos a ir avanzando por cuarto en cuarto. Te quiero, Chris, por lo arriesgado que eres con tus mecánicas. Ojalá que sea divertido, concha a tu madre. Ahí están los tipos de jefe que vamos a enfrentar. Puta, se vende concha a su madre. Nuevos skills. ¿Qué chucha fue eso? Se bufean las armas de endgame. Puta, al fin vamos a poder usar la espada del Shaper. Se viene el root. Puta, no van a lanzar nada nuevo, weón. Se acabó el tráiler en 3 segundos y ya te están mostrando lo nuevo que viene. Porque, en fin, a ver, ¿qué es eso? Ya, tómame, Chris. Es poco, pero se ve chévere. Soy tuyo, a ver, convénceme. No entendiste nada, tranquilos. Yo tampoco entendí, así que van a empezar a gozar tranquilos.
The Forbidden Sanctum is an old Templar enclave, long rumored to be hidden beneath the Fell Shrine ruins. Abandoned for a long time, it is now
Está
controlled.
hablando del Santuario Prohibido, que
You'll explore it, find out
tenemos
its
que
secrets,
explorarlo
and deal with the
encontrando
overlords there.
secretos.
The Sanctum Challenge League is a roguelike game.
Va a ser tipo roguelike para ir avanzando de cuarto en cuarto.
In every area or map you enter, you can make a choice of which room in the sanctum you're
En cada área puedes elegir hacia dónde vas a dirigirte, derecha, izquierda. Puedes ver los premios que van a ver en los siguientes cuartos.
Like most roguelikes, you should not expect to be able to complete it on your first try.
Dice que no necesariamente tienes que esperar a poder pasar todo el camino.
You should expect that your early attempts will fail.
Tienes que esperar a morirte.
You'll be able to push
Gracias,
yourself
Chris.
farther and farther. As you progress deeper into the sanctum, you'll find a variety of treasures that will help you eventually fight your way to the dangers that await.
Van a haber premios a lo largo del camino hasta el final donde esté el jefe.
You may be able to push through all 4 floors to face the final boss.
Y van a haber final
Every
bosses.
resource to help you track how well the run is going. In the Forbidden Sanctum, it is your resolve, indicated by this bar here. As you explore the sanctum, your resolve is threatened by the dangers within. When you lose all of your resolve, your sanctum run ends.
Ah, tienes una barra de resolve. Entre más vas perdiendo, se acaba el evento. O sea, si llegas a 0 de resolve, que es la barra de abajo, te botan del evento. Cuando te golpean los enemigos, te bajan el resolve.
While these attacks do some nominal damage to your regular life, the bulk of their impact is against your resolve. This mechanic provides a mechanism for tracking your progress between rooms, where your regular life pool would long ago have been recovered. Another aspect of the resolve system is that characters who are struggling can be ejected from the sanctum without actually having to die, avoiding experience loss or hardcore death.
Ah, no te mueres. O sea, si te mueres en el evento, o sea, si pierdes tu resolve y te botan, no quiere decir que te maten. Así que puedes jugarlo tipo en hardcore sin necesidad de morirte. Y fallar el evento, pero no morir.
Afflicted rooms cause you to gain an affliction when you enter them. Afflictions make your sanctum run more difficult. For example, reducing your resolve recovery.
Puedes agregar modificadores como esos.
On the sanctum map, or causing sanctum rooms to spawn volatile anomalies that follow you. These minor afflictions accumulate as you get deeper and deeper into a run.
Entre más avanzas, más de esos debuffos vas encontrando.
Major afflictions exist and are a big deal. They have significant consequences, such as entirely preventing the recovery of resolve.
Por ejemplo, pueden hacer que no te recuperes para nada la barra de resolve.
Run gets harder and harder as you pick up more afflictions. Sounds great. But every roguelike needs a way for you to gain power throughout your run. In the Forbidden Sanctum, that system is boons. Boons are beneficial buffs that help you as you progress.
Puedes ir juntando buffos para hacer los eventos más fáciles.
Such as slowing down monsters or adding a special shield
reduciendo su velocidad de movimiento o ganando más 200 de inspiration. Es un buffo de juego.
Such as preventing you from receiving more minor afflictions or recovering your resolve to 50% the next time you run out.
Entonces tienes buffos y debuffos.
Due to the vast variety of afflictions and boons, no 2 runs are the same. Generally speaking, your best sanctum runs are the ones where the afflictions you choose have little effect on you, and the boons either counteract them or have a large benefit for the strategy you're running. Some rooms in the sanctum contain a fountain which will restore some of your lost resolve.
Ah, puedes agarrar fuentes que te suben la barrita.
Fountains that restore even more resolve at a cost.
Tienes otras fuentes que te curan más, pero a cambio de una cosa negativa.
Templar Aureus currency, a type of gold coin they used for commerce within
Hay cuartos que tienen cofrecitos.
You'll also find some Aureus coins from monsters that you kill as you explore. These are picked up automatically, like Azurite, and are not tradable, and like your afflictions and boons, are lost when your sanctum run ends.
Se pierde la monedita esa cuando se acaba el evento. No entendí para qué se usan.
Ah,
ya, pues hay mercaderes que te venden los buffos y te cuestan tanto de las monedas que vas juntando.
Occasionally, the sinister powers controlling the sanctum will present you with the choice of making an accursed pact. You are given several pacts to choose from and can even opt to take all that you are offered. All pacts have a big upside and a big downside, such as exchanging a
portion algo bueno y algo malo a la vez.
Random major boon. It's very dangerous to make a pact, but if you pick the right circumstances, your gamble could pay off. In addition to rewards that help you progress through the sanctum, many rooms let you
Está bien compleja, pero se ve divertida esta mierda.
But with a twist. Whenever you're offered some currency items that you can receive right away, you are also offered a more valuable option that will be waiting for you after the boss fight at the end of the current floor of the sanctum. It's a gamble, because if you fail your run before you reach and defeat the boss, you will not receive the reward you picked.
Te muestran qué te lleva, qué te dan al final del evento. Puedes elegir qué te van a dar al final del evento. Muchas gracias a Saito por la suscripción. Muchas gracias, muchachos, por el apoyo.
At a specific point in the Forbidden Sanctum storyline, you'll discover a special altar that Templar relics can be placed on.
Puedes poner reliquias en unos altares. Las reliquias te dan buffos y no se pierden en la liga. Esas son reliquias para todo el evento, para todos los eventos. Las reliquias no se pueden craftear y no se pueden tradear. Y tampoco tienes todo el espacio libre que quieras para ponerlos. Tienes que jugártela con el espacio que tienes.
We don't want to spoil important story
se vienen ítems
the end
únicos.
boss of the Forbidden Sanctum can drop unique items from a pool exclusive to this league. Today we'd like to show you a unique
Gana additional elemental damage reduction igual a tu chaos resistance. Y te quita chaos resistance y todas tus resistencias elementales. Te da mana, que es una mierda, y fuerza de inteligencia.
If you have sufficient chaos resistance, this is more than compensated for. Because of the roguelike nature of the Forbidden Sanctum, defeating the boss of a floor is a difficult achievement and hence rewards a lot of
jefe del evento.
You may fail on the way, so if you do manage it, expect a good experience boost for your achievement.
Cayó todo el premio.
Another reward you can find is a special type of relic
Pueden caerte reliquias especiales
that has mods that directly affect your character's build.
Que afectan directamente a tu personaje.
And while these relics can't be crafted through conventional means, you may find special reward rooms in the Sanctum that can modify them.
Y puedes modificar estas de aquí,
for this league only and provide a boost to character power for players who are able to master the Sanctum.
Okay.
The Sanctum League offers a roguelike experience that tempts you into taking risks and rewards you if those
pay off. Y bueno, habla en general de que esto es un roguelike.
To hear about your experiences next week.
Y que esperan que les guste a todos. A ver, Endgame, ¿qué van a cambiar dentro del juego?
We're improving Path of Exile's endgame with new content to explore and improvements to how you customize your endgame experience. In the Forbidden Sanctum expansion, we're revamping the Atlas tree, reworking how Eldritch altars function, and are introducing 2 new Atlas memories.
A ver.
The Atlas tree is generally working really well.
El trabajo al Atlas tree.
The tree offers you the ability to specialize in killing pinnacle bosses, providing extra rewards when you do so. While this sounds good on paper, it creates a situation where you're incentivized to specialize your tree for regular mapping, save up all of your boss fights, then respec fully into boss mode, and then do all of your saved up boss fights before speccing back again.
Está hablando de que tienes como que una configuración actualmente de o matar jefes o mapear. No algo híbrido. Están quitando todos los bonus de jefes y los están metiendo en las peleas como tal.
That makes the Elder more likely to drop a Watcher's Eye, as he just has that drop chance built in now.
Ahora ya no tienes que tomar nodos que incrementan el drop del jefe. Ahora el jefe tiene ese drop incrementado.
For each of the 10 leagues that the tree lets you disable, we've added a bunch more passives to the tree.
Han agregado más pasivas al árbol, lo cual está bien.
To much higher levels than currently possible and juice the league even further than before. We are making a number of changes to Eldritch altars that mostly affect
y el cambio a los altares de Eldritch.
Decisions you make involving them.
Creció el árbol si se
changes include splitting up the basic currency, scarab, and divination card rewards to be explicit in their description of what rewards you'll get. For example, instead of map bosses dropping 3 unknown basic currency items, the altar specifically says which currency item they'll drop.
Ahora son más específicos los altares. Ya no te dicen como que te cae más currency, ahora te dice te cae más caos, te cae más vals, te cae transmutation. O bueno, han quitado el tema de las currencies bajas también. Ahora han hecho que los escarabajos también caigan del drop normal. Ahí está. Los rusted scarabs se pueden caer de cualquier bicho y puedes vender de a 3 para mejorarlos. Esta es una receta que no existía antes.
Button. We have made reward types exclusive to different influences, so that you know which influence type to invest in if you want to target farm a certain reward.
Si quieres cierto tipo de premios, puedes utilizar cierto tipo de influencias.
You'll see divine orbs from the basic currency reward more than twice as often as before. We've also rebalanced rewards so that choices that affect boss drops or influence monster drops are comparatively more valuable. The Wrath of the Cosmos keystone has been reworked. Previously, it was so rewarding.
Mencionó
that
algo
players
como
felt
que hay ciertas
obligated to
currencies
use it
especiales
despite
que
its
te
extreme
dan
level of
ciertos
difficulty.
altares, o el del
It
azul
has
o el del
retained the
rojo.
risk versus reward element, but with the overall intensity toned down. You can now also get awakened gems from defeating Maven Witness map
Te
bosses.
pueden salir
This
gemas
additional
Awakened
reward
de
helps
matar a
further
los
balance
jefes
the
de los
expected
mapas. Este cambio a mí no me
returns
gusta
from the various types of
personalmente.
influence.
Ya lo habíamos hablado antes.
For more detail on these changes, check out the balance
Siento que va a
manifesto
hacer
we
que
posted
matar a
last week,
Maven
or
valga
the upcoming
caca.
patch notes.
Pero ahora te pueden caer eso. Y todo el mundo va a tener como
In the
mierda
Lake
de
of Calandra
Awakened
expansion, we
Gems.
introduced Atlas memories. When applied to your Atlas, they unlock a sequence of maps that tells the story of an NPC's past. These stories manifest as specialized encounters that involve a new
Se
challenge and
han
exciting
retrabajado las
rewards.
memorias del Atlas,
In
que
this
la liga
expansion,
pasada nadie
we've
las usó.
introduced two new Atlas memories
A
describing
ver,
events
hay
related
dos
to
nuevas
beastry and
memorias del
domination.
Atlas.
The Beastry memory line
El de
allows you to
bestias.
capture harvest monsters as beasts for your menagerie. These harvest beasts can be used in 9 new beast crafting recipes.
Hay nuevas
These
recetas de
recipes cover an
bestias
array of
que van a
options.
salir
For example,
en
you
el
can
coso.
remove one of the special modifiers from a Watcher's Eye Jewel and then add another.
What?
Potent results.
Puedes
Both
cambiar
affect
opciones
life
de una
mana or
Watcher
any
Eye con una
modifiers.
receta de bestias.
You can re-roll an awakened gem from one
Ya no van a
type to
valer ni
another.
mierda las Watcher, no sé. También puedes
Another
rerolear
example is that
una
you can also
Awakened Gem,
re-roll
pero no sé para qué.
synthesis implicit modifier.
Puedes cambiar los
If your item has more than
implícitos
one
de
synthesis
los
implicit, it will
sintetizados.
randomly re-roll one.
Concha tu madre, Chris, ¿qué estás
The
haciendo?
Domination Atlas memory thrusts you into a tale of pantheon gods that stand watch over their shrines. Like regular shrines, these are guarded by monsters and emit a buff that empowers the monsters until you claim that buff for
Y
yourself.
uno de Shrines, va a haber ahora
This Atlas
una
memory
memoria de
introduces a new
Shrines.
set of shrines with
Con
specialized
shrines
buffs,
especiales
guarded by rare
para
monsters that drop
para esta
tantalizing
memoria.
rewards. The Forbidden Sanctum expansion introduces a new type of shard that can drop from harbingers, fracturing
Orbes
shards.
fracturados.
When combined together into a full currency item, you get the
Fracturing
Fracturing
Orb.
Orb, which behaves the same as a Fracturing Craft from Harvest. It can be used on any rare item with at least 4 modifiers.
Fuck.
When the orb is applied, it
Puedes
locks one of the
fracturar un
modifiers
ítem
in
con
place so
esto.
that further crafting
Uno de
efforts do not
4
affect that
opciones.
modifier. Items
orbe
fractured in this
fracturado.
way can only have one fractured modifier. Previously, this crafting option was gated behind the Oshabi fight in Harvest. Now that it has been rehomed to Harbinger, the Harvest
Ahora esto es
crafting
en
option is no longer
Harbinger,
available.
puta, para darle valor a
This means that you'll be able
Harbingers,
to use
puta,
your
ya,
Harvest
está bien,
rifles
weón.
and Oshabi kills on other crafts.
Está bien, Chris.
Because
Está bien,
fracturing
Chris.
shards
Está
drop
bien,
from
bájate el
Harbingers,
lompa,
you'll
te
be
la
able to
chupo. Está
target
bien.
them by
Es una
stacking
buena
Harbinger
decisión porque
content on
Harbinger
Atlas
no
Stream.
estaba valiendo una mierda.
The Forbidden Sanctum expansion introduces a number of new skill gems. In addition to some new melee Valve skills we'll discuss later in the livestream, there are 2 totally new
Nuevos
skills
skills.
that we'd like to unveil today. Volcanic Fissure is a new fiery slam skill that can be used with staves, maces, axes, and unarmed attacks.
Esta es una habilidad
Strike the
para
ground to create
martillos y
a chasm
hachas.
that winds towards your target. This chasm can path around corners before erupting as the fissure gets as close as it can reach.
Nadie lo va a usar.
Releases a burst of fire
Pero ya, la mierda.
that explode on
Es una build de
strike.
melee.
Enemies hit by multiple impacts will take a lot of stacked damage. Use it up close for reliable bursts of damage or aim fire.
En realidad es un
damage
slam,
in a
¿no?
larger area. Frozen Legion is an unusual spell, summoning a ring of icy statues that attack with your own weapon damage.
Ese es un
The skill has
spell, es
multiple
un spell que
cooldown stacks and
convoca
consumes all
clones
cooldown
que
uses
atacan
at
con el
once to
arma que
summon a
tienes.
statue for each available cooldown. The statues perform a sweeping ice slash, and these sweeps can overlap, resulting in
Los
multiple
sweeps,
hits against
estos
targets close to you.
espirales que hacen
The
se pueden
spell can be
overlapear
used with
entre las
staves, maces,
estatuas,
and axes.
haciendo mucho
The skill
daño.
is particularly powerful with slow, heavy weapons, as while the statues will use your attack speed, you should instead
Usan tu
prioritize
ataque
the
speed
spell's own
y
cast
son
time
buenas
and
con
cooldown.
armas pesadas de 2 manos.
This expansion also
New Vales.
introduces
¿Es en
new
serio,
Val
Chris? ¿Es
melee
liga de
skills.
melee? ¿Es en
As you
serio?
know, equipping
Nadie
a
va a
Val
usar
skill
esto,
grants you
weón.
both the Val and regular version of the
Nadie va a
skill.
usar melee. Por
As
favor,
you
no
kill
me
enemies,
mientas, Chris.
the
¿Va a ser
gem
liga de
charges up
melee?
with
¿En
their
serio?
souls, and after a certain number are collected, the Val skill can be used once. Most of the new Val skills introduced in this expansion are melee skills, and this results in an indirect buff to any melee builds that use one of these
O
skills.
sea, van a aparecer un montón de versiones melee de varias, perdón, de versiones Val de habilidades melee.
A superpowered version of the skill.
Como una versión en
If you
drogas
like
de las
Flicker
habilidades de
Strike,
melee.
you'll love Val Flicker Strike, as it really dials up the concept of letting fate take the wheel. Val Flicker Strike causes you to flicker dozens of extra times, slashing
Ahora el
enemies.
Val Flicker
During
Strike
this time, you don't
te
deal any
hace
damage to the
convulsionar
enemies you
20.000
slash.
veces más.
You're quite vulnerable due to not leeching or generating fortify stacks. When you finish flickering, if you survived of course, you'll be rewarded with a single huge hit of damage against each enemy you slashed. Val Cleave is a new Val skill that buffs the behavior of its non-Val version, in a similar way to how Val Reeve works. Val Cleave triggers 2 buffs, one when you kill a rare enemy, and one when you kill either a rare or unique enemy. The latter is a strong buff to regular cleave, which you can keep up almost
Baal
permanently if you're
Cleave
able to kill
te da
rare or
un
unique
bufo
enemies offline.
para la habilidad de Baal
The
normal.
bonus for killing a rare enemy is that you get to steal its mods for a time.
¡Verga!
Part of the power of having a headhunter without actually needing to
El
find
Baal Cleave hace que cuando mates a un raro le robas su opción, como si fuera un headhunter, por unos segundos.
Don't hurt me.
Puta, Chris, creo que ya está bien, Chris. Te acepto tu cagada. Te acepto tu cagada. Te acepto tu cagada.
From Sanctum exclusive uniques to ones that can be found from Path of Exile's
Nuevos
pinnacle
ítems
bosses.
únicos.
I'd like to show you 3 examples of these, designed by winners of our prior league's boss kill races. Progenesis is a unique amethyst flask
una
that was
poción.
designed by Ben and drops from the Uber Maven.
Cae de
It's a
Ubermaven.
defensive flask that grants a mini version of the Petrified Blood effect, but without requiring you to be on low life. This is a useful tool to prevent you getting one-shot by large amounts of incoming damage in scary situations.
25% de la vida
Rational
perdida,
Doctrine
no
is
sé
a
qué, ya no
unique
lo
jewel
leí.
that was designed by Rawlings and drops from Uber Venarius. By manipulating
Este
their
es del
attributes,
Cortex.
you can change how this jewel behaves. While the ideal dream outcome is that you manage to
You
get
have
your strength and
consecrated
intelligence
ground
tied for
around
highest,
stationary
enabling
if
both of the benefits
strange. Eso
simultaneously,
trabaja con tus
the jewel
atributos.
is still very powerful
Si
if it
tienes la
only grants
inteligencia
you a
más alta
choice
o la
of
fuerza más
permanent
alta.
consecrated ground or permanent profane ground.
Tienes Profane Ground o
Entropic Devastation
Consecrated
is a
Ground.
pair of unique gloves that were designed by Gucci Pradas and dropped from the Uber Shaper. Currently, the ways to get Spell Impale are very limited.
Evasión,
These gloves provide the
Cal
powerful
of
property of
Steel,
causing all of your spells to
Increase
impale
Effect
on
of
threat.
Impale, Critical Strikes.
So let's talk about unique weapons, specifically
No, aún no he terminado.
endgame unique weapons. In many ways, the weapon is the most iconic and important item on a character, so it's very
Van a
important
retrabajar
that
las
you
armas
make
únicas, a ver, ¿qué
something
tan
worthy of
fuertes
their
van a
unique
estar?
status. While some unique weapons have special properties that enable entirely new builds, others are best compared to powerful rare items as a primary source of your character's damage. We have to be very careful when pitching the power level of these unique weapons. If they're not powerful enough, then they're useless and are ignored. But if they're too powerful, then they discourage entire
Está diciendo la
archetypes of
clásica de
characters
que
from trying
no
to
quieren
find
hacer las
or
armas
craft
únicas muy
rare
OPs,
weapons.
pero ahorita están siendo muy cacas y
Interestingly,
casi
the
nadie
above
está
problem
usando
doesn't
armas
apply to
únicas.
belts. Despite Mageblood and Headhunter both existing as extremely
También está
powerful
hablando de
unique
las-
items,
de
people
los
still
cinturones
craft plenty
únicos.
of rare belts. That's because
Es cierto.
Mageblood and Headhunter are
Fuera del
extremely
Headhunter
rare,
y el
and people don't
Mageblood
actually
no hay
expect to
muchos
reliably get one in the
cinturones muy
league.
buenos.
Players tend to treat them as luxury upgrades to their build rather than something they're certain to get. In this expansion,
ver.
we're promoting 10 iconic.
Mira,
but
mira el daño del arma,
weapons to the
109 a
same tier of
205 lo ha subido a
rarity as Mageblood and
182 a
Headhunter. We're buffing them a
295.
gigantic amount and are making them
Hizo un
incredibly
pincho
hard
de
to
daño.
find. Remember when Starforge used to be an
La
exciting item?
Starforge de,
Well, after this
de
change, it
231
certainly is again.
480 a
It still drops
332,
exclusively
casi
from the Shaper and the
700
Uber
de
Shaper,
daño.
but it'll take a lot of runs or a lot of luck to earn it. Over the next week, we'll reveal the
Puta,
other unique weapons
arcos,
that have been massively
huevón.
buffed. We have targeted
De
around 10
80
iconic
a
underused
casi
unique weapons
300
that have
y el
generally
otro se ha
buffed
subido a
only their damage
121
stats,
a
but by a lot.
435. No sé si eso será suficiente en arcos, weón.
We've made a number of changes to jewels that are covered in a recent balance manifesto, but in case
Las
you missed it,
joyas
we want to quickly summarize what
y
the
el tema de
changes
los
are.
ailments.
In the Forbidden Sanctum expansion, we have made jewels
Avoid
a better
bleeding
source of ailment mitigation
47%.
by buffing
Puta,
the
con
value
dos
of
joyitas de esas ya
ailment-focused
no te
jewel
afecta el
modifiers
bleeding.
and adding new modifiers that enable mitigation to a wider variety of ailments than before. We have also removed some
Acá
ailment
que hay,
mitigation
reduce
modifiers
Ignite
that were only available on jewels
34%.
through
Tres joyitas
corruption,
y se acabó
because
el
there are now
Ignite.
better options through the regular jewel mod pool. This also means that other desirable corruption modifiers, like immunity to corrupting blood, are more likely
Puta,
to
pero una joya con doble
We want the
crítico
moment of
y
finding a
Avoid
unique
y
jewel to be way more
Ignite va a
exciting
estar
than it
caro.
currently is.
Modifiers to
We've
Ignite.
added a handful of new, very powerful
Ignite
unique
duration
jewels
on
and
you
removed some
apply to
old, less
elemental
interesting ones.
ailments.
An example of one of these new unique jewels is Fire Song, which propagates any modifiers to your Ignite mitigation to other elemental ailments. If you're
Puta.
able to
O sea, te
substantially
puedes hacer
reduce the
inmune al
duration of
Ignite y te haces
Night
inmune a todos
Song,
los
then you can use
elemental
Fire
ailments.
Song to basically shrug off any elemental ailment.
Puta, ya
For
está.
full information about the other changes to
No está
unique
mal.
jewels, check out the Balance Manifesto post we made recently. We've rebalanced curses to make them stronger where they matter most against unique monsters and pinnacle bosses. We have buffed several hex-related
Han
unique items
retrabajado
and
este cajo
reworked
que nadie
unique
lo
items that
usaba.
previously interacted with Doom. To replace the Doomsday Keystone passive, we've
También han
brought back
cambiado
a
el tema
version
del
of
Doom.
iconic
Este era
curse-related
un
keystone
Keystone
from the
distinto
past.
antes.
We've introduced some powerful
Este anillo ya lo
unique
habíamos
items that
visto,
interact with hexes, which
que
we'll reveal in the
hace
lead-up to
que
launch.
tengas maldiciones iguales a la cantidad de power
Curses,
charges que
check out the
tengas.
Balance Manifesto we posted recently, or the patch notes that will come out after the live stream concludes.
Se vienen las patch notes acabando
When we first created the
el anuncio.
Archnemesis monster mod system,
El
our goal
trabajo a
was
los
to improve
Archnemesis.
Path of
A
Exile's
ver.
outdated set of monster mods with new and interesting mechanics that have modern game balance. We feel that Arch Nemesis did introduce a lot of interesting mechanics, but it unfortunately had several of its own problems. We have replaced Arch Nemesis with a system that is more similar to the way monster mods worked in the past. The new monster mods are a lot simpler. They now each do one thing and very clearly state what they do. Each encounter with a rare monster
Mira, ahí
is
te
now less
sale
complex and is easier to
Critical
understand in the heat of
Resistance,
combat compared to Arch Nemesis.
Energy Shield, Aura. Ahora todos los monstruos te dicen lo que tienen, que es mucho más claro y más fácil. Temporal Chains, Extra no sé qué. Bueno, Temporal Proximity, no es Temporal Chains. Igual se está demorando un bicho matarlo.
Under Arch Nemesis, it often felt mandatory to bring in a Magic Find culling character to kill some
está hablando sobre el trabajo al Magic Find, que antes era, para esta liga tenías que tener Magic Find, porque si no, si te encontrabas a un bicho raro, no te caía ni mierda.
So you don't know what kind of rewards you will get until you kill the monster. Rare monsters with more mods are more likely to have these special hidden reward bonuses. To find out more about other balance changes that are taking place,
vamos a confiar en el Chris. Muchas gracias por los bits.
Patch notes, which will be available when the live stream ends. Over the last year or so, some of our senior developers have been tinkering with a more challenging way to play Path of Exile.
Y se viene el modo Ruthless. Para los que no sabían, esto había estado en alfa hace unos días. Para todos aquellos que sean sádicos, pueden jugar el modo Ruthless.
Ruthless is an optional additional character flag, like hardcore.
Puedes seleccionarlo así como si fuera hardcore o solo self-found.
Path of Exile feels to play. Ruthless is a lot more difficult than regular Path of Exile, but it doesn't achieve this by making the monsters harder to kill. It instead focuses on reducing character power.
El modo Ruthless es básicamente te caen menos cosas, no puedes usar habilidades de movimiento, vas mucho más lento, no puedes comprar todas las skills, te van cayendo, así que vas improvisando sobre la marcha muchas veces. El reto del trabajador en Ruthless, no gracias.
It's also available as a modifier for private leagues.
A más dificultad, menos recompensas. Igual es divertido. Y lo que me gusta de Ruthless es que es algo opcional. Si quieres lo juegas y si no, no. Es como jugar solo self-found. O como jugar hardcore, ¿no? Es algo que tú eliges.
Ruthless is not for everyone, but so far it has found a supportive and growing.
¿Cuántos subs para empezar en Ruthless? No va a empezar en Ruthless. 200 subs y empiezo en Ruthless.
This expansion also
no va a empezar en Ruthless.
Quality of life improvements. Some examples are divine vessels can now be used by right-clicking them rather than taking them to sin. On the player overhead life bar, the energy shield bar is.
No me tome la palabra, conchetumare. No, estoy viéndolo. No me cae en mi comienzo de liga.
And most importantly, beast crafting recipes that add mods to flasks now actually say what the mods do.
Ahora las bestias te dicen exactamente qué hacen en las pociones, porque si no lo sabían, habían crafteo de pociones en bestias, pero nadie lo usaba porque no decían qué era. ¡Uy! Supporter packs para soltarle plata al Chris.
Full face value and points plus several exclusive microtransactions. These packs will only be available for the duration of the Sanctum Challenge League and will leave the store forever in 3 months. As always, these microtransactions are entirely cosmetic and do not affect your character's progression or power. The Forge series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Clockwork back attachment ramps up as you build a kill streak, building pressure and releasing it when your streak ends.
Tienes como una mochila que bota pedos. Eso es lo que vas a gastar, vas a conseguir con tu plata.
The Delirious hideout decoration lets you summon delirium fog in your hideout at will.
Adorno para el hideout, donde sale un montón de niebla.
Feeling okay? You're looking a little pale, Exile.
Van a soltar las notas del parche dentro de un rato, men. Ahí hay que leer y analizar para ver qué queda. ¡Qué bravazo! Es un skin que hace que cada vez que estás crafteando la gente te ve, ¿cómo se llama? Golpeando una forja. ¡No! Muestra a la gente linkeando un ítem, weón. ¡Qué buena! Buena esa, buena esa.
Summoning the Crow Storm portal effect causes a murder of crows to erupt from the portal.
Todo esto para la gente, para que no se emocionen, ¿eh? ¿Cómo se llama? Todo esto es por plata, por si acaso. No es que van a poder hacer esto en el juego así nomás. Todos estos son skins.
The Gemling Pack series also has 6 exclusive microtransactions. The beehive weapon effect lets your weapon play host to a swarm of angry bees, which erupt from the hive whenever you hit an enemy.
Que salen abejas
Critical hits
de
cause
las
the hive to
armas.
send out its best warriors.
Qué cagada.
The Stampede Quicksilver Flask makes you the leader of your own personal rower herd.
Puta, qué
Activating the
buena.
flask causes a host of
Te salen
ghostly
unas
rowers to
animaciones de
charge
rol. Ya, al menos
alongside
eso se ve chistoso.
This is the Gemling Artificer armor set. It is inlaid with gems.
Ah,
that
se
match
ven
the
los
gems
colores
you
de las
softened in your
gemas que estás
items.
usando.
Crafting gems with gem cutters prisms, Val orbs, or regrading lenses visualizes the process for all to see. This armor set also includes alternate gem level up effects. Prospero's ring blesses you with a constant shower of coins, and it helps you thank players you've traded with through a hearty fist bump.
Chucha.
The consuming ooze pet bounces alongside you and devours corpses in your wake, spitting out a tidy pile of bones.
Alguien se va a quedar
Finally,
sin
this pack
cena de
allows you to
Navidad.
reunite with Kadiro Perandus,
Puta, volvió
inviting
Kadiro,
him
pero
to
en
your
forma de
hideout as
fichas.
a vendor. In addition to buying items from you and using his connections to accept your divination cards, he'll provide commentary on your goods, equipment, and anything else he sees fit to judge you for.
That might be a little too much to drink, even for me.
Kadiro has hundreds of lines of voice acting.
What?
Puedes venderle y cambiarle cartas de Divination Cards. Es como una Lily nueva.
So impressed.
Lleva mucho rato que empezó a las 2, son 2:30. Puta, ha pasado al toque, huevón, y ya se va a acabar. El evento va a durar durante 9 horas todavía. Mientras
These
estemos
new
en
packs
vivo,
are
va a
available
funcionar,
right
así que
now at
tranquilos.
partofexcel.com/purchase. Purchases like these directly
Puta,
fund
yo
the
pensé que
ongoing
esto iba a demorar un
development of
ratazo,
Exile
¿ah?
1
No
and
duró
we
una
really
mierda.
appreciate your support. Meanwhile, the Knight and Rogue packs leave the store forever in 1 week, so now's your last chance to purchase them.
Ah, los supporter packs viejos ya se acabaron. El perrito que carga cosas ya se va a ir, así que cómprenlo. Y los drops empezaron hace media hora, man.
Unique items when the Forbidden Sanctum launches.
Y durarán 9 horas.
We're
Así
hoping to
que
film
eso.
season 11 of Build of the Week once the Forbidden Sanctum comes
¿Hasta
out.
cuándo estarán los
If you want
supporters?
to
Dicen
submit
que
your
ya se
build
van
for
antes
the
de que empiece la
season,
liga.
share your build guide on the class forums on pathofexile.com. Next up, we've got the Q&A with Ziggy D. Once that ends, we'll post the full patch notes for the Forbidden Sanctum. Over the next week, our community team will post the expansion's challenge rewards, information on how to update your item filters, all new and changed gems, and
Se
information
vienen las
on how to
preguntas con
prepare for
CGD,
launch.
luego de eso las
On
notas
launch
del
weekend, we
parche y
expect to
después de
release
eso
the
van a
new
estar
mystery
soltando
box,
más
and we'll follow up with the
información.
new Kyrix Vault Pass in the days after launch. Thanks for joining us and checking out the Forbidden Sanctum. We can't wait to join you in Rayclast on December 9th. We'll begin the Q&A shortly,
Siempre
so
me
please
aburren
get
las
your
preguntas con
questions ready in
CGD.
chat.
Pero no han soltado todavía las... ¿Cómo se llama? Las notas del parche, así que vamos a tener que verlo nomás. Se viene la paja grupal. Pues eso, está interesante la liga. Ha sido rápido, ¿eh? Ha sido bien rápido. Ha sido bien rápido. Pero está interesante la liga. Los cambios se ven más o menos decentes. Vamos a ver qué onda. Llegaste tarde, pero vamos a ver esto 20.000 veces, así que no se preocupen.